All right, welcome everybody. We're here with 3DNA. We're doing a deep dive with Albin from HeyGears, a product now that we've been working with for a little while, but we're excited to push more and more as time goes on. Albin, we'd love to know kind of how you got into 3D printing and a little bit more about you specifically.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I've been with HeyGears for about 2 years now. I used to work for another dental company and met HeyGears at IDS 2023, and straight away was very impressed by the level of innovation and technology and different applications available. And it's a relatively young company, only been in the dental market for 5 to 6 years, but very quickly made our way to the top in terms of the products that we offer to dental labs and dental clinics. And so I joined them about 2 years ago, and I take care of kind of the southeast part of the country, and work with 20 plus large dental labs, some very small dental labs, and now really pushing a lot of on the clinical side, dental clinics. And it's been a great journey, and we have a lot of exciting things in the future, and looking forward to talking today.
And when did you actually get into 3D printing, or is this like a new transformation as well?
It's new for me. I mean, it's new for a lot of people, right? It's
Yeah, for sure.
It's growing so fast, and so I was new to it. So I learned from the start with HeyGears, from their initial printers that could not do too much to now full scale production systems, automation, and working with 20 plus different resins, and seeing really the capabilities of how one machine, one printer can spit out so many different things. It's crazy. From night guards, dentures, temps, like it's flexible partials. It's just endless. And that's just on our dental side. We have a non-dental side where it's another, product line. It's so
for HeyGears, what in your experience, what is the sort of mission statement overall? How big is like the dental aspect of HeyGears' mission, and then how do you kind of split your efforts between labs and clinics? Like, what's the main focus?
All right, so the main focus for us is by far dental. 80%, even more, is dental focused. When we first started in the US market, that was our main goal: dental labs, partnering up with the biggest dental labs in the US and understanding their needs, and then how can we create products that like helps them move forward. And so that's what we've done now. Our coverage is really extensive, from really large dental labs to very, very small dental labs. And our product line shows that, from full scale production systems with machines that can print hundreds of models a day or dentures, to very small tabletop printers that are suitable for small dental labs or dental clinics. And when those small printers like that, that's when then now there's a market for dental clinics that have an internal lab that can use that and create same day applications. And so by far HeyGears is 80% dental, and we have a little bit a separate line, the reflex line, for personal use printers, or R&D type of product making for general other companies. But
I heard great things even about that. The reflex series has an amazing reputation.
Yeah, you can search it up on YouTube. There's like hundreds of videos and people buying it. It's very low entry level price, and you get access to good materials, and you can print really detailed, extensive objects. And so, but still, dental is our main focus.
Right. And so, in terms of like, generally speaking, what are the pinch points for either labs or clinic? Let's say maybe focus on labs since there's probably more experience there. But what's been like the major value add that you guys have seen, that like pre-digital, post-digital? Why should people be thinking along these lines? I mean, at this point, obviously labs, I think everybody knows that 3D printing is here to stay. But what do you think at this point, how things have evolved? What's the main reason these days to not only go digital, but maybe go towards HeyGears?
Yeah, absolutely. So digital, like I said earlier, it's it's with one printer, one digital printer, you can create 10, 12 different printing applications with one machine. So it's simplified the production in a way. And what we bring to the table is that, but an element of automation. That's our big push. Automation, AI. So, and we have that on the hardware side. So printers that will remove parts, refill the resin automatically, allow you to run, all day, all night, where just one technician can take care of the printer. That's it. So, but also software on the pre-processing of parts, nesting, AI generation of night guards of models. And so it's really saved labs a lot of time, and that's where we bring a lot of value to labs.
Is that in terms of specifically which products are being mostly done in this way? Obviously, I think models are huge, and especially around the aligner and orthodontic market. What other so night guards, models, what other things are like really approachable in a sort of like factory style, a lot at a time kind of situation at this point with your 3D printers in the lab?
So on the automation printing side, our A3D printer, like you said, many models, but we have customers set up on it for denture bases, just like constant printing bases of night guard splints. But then all of our other printers, the A2D, A2D HD, they have access to all the range of the resins that we manufacture and sell, and also some of the third-party validations that we've worked with. And so it's really opened the doors to huge amounts of applications. And on the software side, the nesting, it's with everything, every application, models, everything is automatic, one-click process, and it's all AI generated, and within 1 minute you're ready to print. And so it's made the workflow very simple. That's what we aim to do, make the workflow extremely simple to use, where anybody kind of off the street within a day can print like a full denture. It's just
it's very exciting times for sure. Absolutely. I mean, our company is sort of formed around the fact that so far has been very difficult. I do think it's getting easier, but I also think it's just like one of the questions that I really have is, I think it's pretty clear that automation is a big aspect of what differentiates HeyGears and what you guys have tried to differentiate on. It's less obvious in clinic, where automation, I think some version of automation really matters for clinic, but less than for labs, or at least it's different, right? In your case, so like I would like to understand with the clinical specific version of your printers, I noticed, for example, like the cartridge style printer, and then the, let's say, normal resin filling style printer. Where would you say the focus is there, and how has the adoption been so far with your, I forget the name right off the top of my head, but the clinic, the C version, right?
Yeah. So we have a chairside version. It's a very very small production printer, perfect for 1 to 2 cases a day. And our goal with that was really to make it even more user-friendly, where you don't have to get your hands dirty with resin. And so we created this capsule sprint technology where you slot in the tank and it has the resin capsule, and it will automatically fill it. And so there's no handling or pouring, where someone that's untrained, like a dental technician, like in the clinic, that's not a lab technician, can use this. And so we made the hardware really simple, and then again, every one of our printers uses the same HeyGears Cloud pre-processing software. So it's all one click, very simple to use. Again, a few hours of training and you're ready to print whatever that you want. And with our the clinical type machines, like the A2D HD and chairside, we sell them kind of as a complete package with the printer, the washing machine, the washing, the curing, and then we offer design services for labs, but also for our clinics. So we take care of the whole start to finish production, again, to make it super simple. And every piece of technology, every piece of hardware is interconnected. So once you finish printing, the wash already knows what you've printed, how long it needs to be washed for, how many times, and then next step, curing. Oh, you're curing model resin. This is 5 minutes.
Right, right.
It's all connected, so it's super simple, easy to use. You don't get your hands dirty, and that's what we kind of push on the focus with on the clinical side, whereas the lab side is a bit more open, more larger production machines and larger units that are suited for that. So that's where we really push for the clinical side, and it makes people's lives so much easier, and it's a cleaner production.
So, but the main focus on that particular printer, like you said, is like 1 to 2 jobs a day. So we're talking relatively smaller practices that are really just getting their foot in the door, and then hopefully, I think even in your marketing, you say like start here, and it's super affordable, and then as you scale up in terms of the usefulness of these digital workflows within your clinic, we have the other solutions that can scale with you, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. So the chair side specifically is very low production volume. A2D HD is kind of like a beefed up version where you have that's why I said earlier it's suited for small dental labs and like maybe a larger dental clinic where you can fit 6 denture bases on the build platform, print 9 guards at a time. So you have the option of a higher production, but it still has that full package system to it, where it's still simple to use. It's one step at a time. Yeah.
So in the capsule printer, when it fills the resin automatically into the vat, but does it also empty the additional resin at the end, or are these single use?
So these are single use. So essentially there's a sensor, so it'll fill resin. You can print once it knows it needs more resin, fills more resin, and when it's out, that's it. You just remove it and chuck it away, and then you get another one.
But like, so say that a clinic is printing a denture, but then of course, like in the same day they want to do a night guard and whatever. Is there a way of like storing that tank that has some left in the capsule?
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, each capsule comes with a black cover, a UV-proof black cover. So let's say you're printing with night guard resin, put it in, print, you're done, take it out, cover, put it to the side. Take the capsule for, I don't know, Ceramco crown for long-term crown, boom, put it in, print, put it to the side. And so you can, it's very intuitive.
And then you're throwing the build plate away, which you said is recycled plastic already, right?
Yeah. It's like a 5-cent piece, very, very cheap. No messing around. You have a perfect clean plate every single time, so that there's almost zero chance of print failure, no cleaning. It's just easy to use. And the special thing with that chair side machine is, which again comes back to this like connected system, the specific air wash unit for this.
I was very interested to hear about this. That was one of the next questions.
This air wash has it's structured inside to be able to just slide in the build platform, essentially, and then the build platform inside the wash will spin, and then there's a sprayer to spray the IPA onto the part and clean it perfectly. So again, you're not scraping off parts with resin everywhere. You just take it off the printer, put it in the wash, and then that's it. It's
tell me a bit more about the maintenance on that. Like obviously, so using a centrifugal system, spraying IPA, but you're only so that way you're not like having to clean IPA. You're not using nearly as much IPA by not having to immerse it. Also, I think there's applications like for highly ceramic filled resins. We don't want to ever submerge it in IPA. We want to basically do what your air wash does. So I think there's some very interesting applications there. But can you talk to me about, like, first of all, comparing an air wash cleaned product compared to obviously like a submerged double bath, which is kind of industry standard, I would say. And then also, what does it look like to clean the centrifuged resin? It must go somewhere, right?
Right. So it's essentially like a spray system, and then excess resin that's in there, which is not much because it's very efficient. It comes into a storage area, which you can exit out. And maintenance is just simple wiping and cleaning, just making sure that the spray nozzle is not dirty, so you get a good spray, and that's it. It's a very efficient and simple way of cleaning. Now the limitations, of course, is it's simply for the chair side printer. And so if you have another type of printer, it's not going to be compatible with that. And it's very small volume, it's very small volume washing. So you put the platform and that's it. So it's perfect for chair side. Anybody with like larger applications and larger amount of washing needed. Our air wash is perfect. It's again preset parameters for washing, the traditional 2 bath wash. Yeah.
But you don't see it taking over, like you don't see an air wash larger version product where it's holding multiple build plates and like, and because I mean, I see huge advantages to like reducing our IPA use. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think there's definitely opportunities for that. I don't know whether we have another one on the way, so we'll see. But
Okay.
I definitely agree. It's one of those hardwares where everybody's like, wow, this is very efficient, very easy to
Yeah, I
use.
think we're all looking for better ways, and like we already work on like IPA distillation and all that kind of stuff. It's like if we could avoid that, that'd be step one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're on the same page. We're on the same page, and we have some resins, like we have a water washable model resin. So we're
The problem is like, you know,
going that
models
direction.
that I don't know about how much you know about our company, but we're in the direct print aligner space primarily, I would say. I mean, just because we see that as like a hugely important advancing of the future. So models, obviously there's still crown and bridge and restoration models and all kinds of other models, but I don't know, like, I don't know. As we get more and more digital, I don't see a lot of people doing study models, you know what I mean? I think like once you don't have to make a million models for aligners, that's going to make a massive difference to the market. Where do you guys land on that right now?
So we're keeping a close eye on it. I think that what's out there is already pretty good. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And I do believe that we will soon have our own version of a direct print clear aligner resin. So time will tell. But I agree with you. I think being able to directly print would be great. It's just, being able to match the mechanical properties of the traditional way is difficult.
Or improved, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so the reason I ask that is because I see water washable resins happening on models, but I never see water washable splints. I don't see water washable crown and bridge. You know what I mean? Which so at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, well, that's not a solution exactly. You know what I mean? So I still see some kind of degreaser needed. So IPA is just a fundamental, it seems like, to that. But I see like air wash and I don't know if you've heard, I forget that it's a vapor degreasing. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but there's like you warm IPA and there's like like a foggy chill layer where it's like almost like precipitating the way that like rain works basically.
Okay. Now I've heard of that.
I definitely would be interested to see more advancement on that side because like cleaning needs to get smarter.
Yeah.
Now on your design services, can you tell us a little bit more about that in terms of like, I kind of looked and tried to see if you guys had pricing published anywhere, what the turnaround times are kind of like, what different types of things do you guys provide digital design wise?
Absolutely. So yeah, we've had a design team for about a few years now. About 150 fully trained designers on FreeShape, Exocad. Again, this platform is also integrated within HeyGears Cloud. So everything from the printing side, but also the design side is on one platform. And we've made the submission process of submitting a design case super, super simple with preset parameters like your iPhone settings. I want it this way. And we design pretty much anything and everything. Of course, crown bridge is the biggest thing, but right now dentures are really denture design is really booming. And turnaround time, at least for the US market, what we say is anything typically submitted by 6 p.m. on the same day, 6 p.m. Eastern, will be returned to you by the next morning. So 12 hours. It's 12 to 24 hours. It depends. Some higher complicated cases require a specific designer, and it might take a little longer. But typically it's overnight because the production team, the design team, is in China. And that's a normal turnaround time, but we have multiple shifts within our design team, so we can design within an hour to 2 hours if we're rush cases, if needed.
Or if like someone schedules it, so like for All on X or something like that.
Absolutely, it can be pre-scheduled, but a lot of the time, we have a large team and we can accommodate just one-off cases of just designing rush cases. So it's been a really good addition to our ecosystem, and we see more and more labs and dental clinics utilizing us because it's just tough to find skilled people skilled designers, and volume, every month can fluctuate for labs. And so that's where we play a big part in helping them design. Absolutely. It's part of the ecosystem.
Are you seeing a lot of excitement around flexible partials?
Oh yeah.
And how does your material, so I want to move us to the conversation around that first, but then also towards materials and how materials have been changing lately, and where you guys see yourselves in that sort of position.
Yeah, so flexible partials have been a big thing last, I want to say 18 months, but actually 2 years ago, we launched ours, and we were the first to make a flexible partial resin. And we've just been a little bit unlucky on the class 2 approval, so that should finally be coming earlier this year. But it has been a game changer, really. And in terms of the resins, I want to explain a little bit about how we do it. Essentially, we are a partially open, partially closed system. So we have our own materials team, and we formulate our own resins. And in that way, we can really push the industry forward, like being the first ones to, make a flexible partials. But we also understand that there are some resins out there that are extremely good and popular, and labs want to use them, and doctors want to use them. And so we have validated just a handful of third-party manufacturers like Dentsply and Detax and Keyspin resin and the Ceramco Crown Tech and a few additional ones. Rodin.
You got Rodin?
Yeah.
Oh yes, that was good. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Great.
No, so we understand there's a demand for those resins, but the way I say partially open, partially closed is because we don't open the doors to absolutely everybody like some other manufacturers do, because we want to prioritize quality, and we want the prints to work, the machines
success. Right?
And so when HeyGears can guarantee results, because we make the printer, we make the software, we make the resin, we validate it, and so the responsibility is on us to make a product that works. When you use these really open systems and a printer starts to fail, they might start to do some finger pointing. Hey, it's the resin company. Hey, it's the printer. And so even with the third party validations, it's not saying that we just go, oh yeah, you can start using it. It's months and months of us testing the resin, making sure it's good, making sure it works, creating an SOP, creating the perfect process package, and to ensure that the customer is not going to have issues and get consistent results. And so big bulk of our resins is HeyGears, and it will continue to be as we push the industry forward with new resins. But we validated, Rodin, Dentsply, all those as well.
Yeah. I mean, it brings me to so many questions, but
ask.
So for I don't know, like Crown and Bridge, I don't know where you feel like we're at in terms of permanent restoration. I know that there's been actual insurance approvals for that for quite some time now for highly filled nanoceramics. I know you, and so I didn't know you had Rodin. I didn't see that anywhere in your marketing, but I'm very happy to hear that, because Sculpture 2.0 has material properties that just blow the other guys out of the water. You know what I mean?
It does.
Yeah, and I wonder, where are we at? To me, what it seemed like for a while was that viscosity, the higher viscosity we could print in, the better material properties, or at least the especially Vickers hardness, that we could start approaching Emax and start to really 3D print the future of Crown and Bridge. You know what I mean? Where would you say we're at on that? And then another side question is, are you guys messing around at all with any type of dual curing technology? So not just light, but also heat or chemical or something like that.
Right. So first question, I think the adoption is growing. I think it's still relatively small, and I would say, in terms of the Ceramco, I'd say still a relatively small portion of labs are choosing that option. And still for a permanent use, it's still very much going for temporary use applications. But as we've seen materials change so quickly, I have no doubt that within a few more years, it's going to go really towards the printing side of it. So it's exciting, because again, it's another application that you can create with the same printer that you already have. You know, it's
Absolutely.
it's going to be a game changer. And so rodent sculpture 3.0 specifically, we have not yet validated that, but we have rodent tie-in rodent sculpture 1.0, and both of those are like extremely popular. Rodent sculpture 1.0 is still a very popular option for that application. And people having great success with our printers. And what was the second question?
Around like like dual curing concepts. So like, for example, carbon, Lux Creo, and on the industrial side, not so much in dental. Somewhat like some resin manufacturers are finding massive improvements in shear strength, especially, but just overall strength by combining, basically cross-linking multiple networks, right? So having like your light cure network and then combining that with the heat or chemical cure network. So
we're already working with that, especially with some of our, you know, the third-party resins like Lucitone and stuff that require that cure and baking, you know, type of mix. In terms of our lineup of resins, right now, they achieve great performance without requiring that. And so, but yeah, it's definitely, I've seen that too, and I think the funny thing is you see a lot of like these discoveries happen even on a lab basis where the technician will try something. Oh, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, and it's just like it's coming out much better, much stronger. The outer surface, you can tell, it's much shinier, stronger, and so yeah, I think it's going to be the future, and hopefully, you know, create a piece of hardware that combines those two elements together, all those extra elements together, so you don't have to have, you know, 10 different machines just on the post-processing side.
And yeah, like so another question I have around is like, so in your like a couple of things would be on the equipment side. I know you guys have the MSLA printer with Reflex, which is cool. You know, MSLA seems like the new or whatever. If you're going to be in an LCD world, you might as well be MSLA, right? And then obviously your DLP line, which seems like by far their biggest focus. I guess walk us through with the difference, at least from HeyGears perspective. What is the difference between like when we talk MSLA and when we talk DLP? Why is MSLA not better? Like in some sense, it's faster. It has more native pixel resolution. But the only thing is, I don't know. Yeah, I'm wondering. There's like the light 385 or 405. Like how does that all play out for you guys? Where do you see that going, especially?
Right. So for us, we've seen, at least from what I know, we've seen just better long-term results with the DLP, and just like, especially on the projector side, just a greater lifespan, from what I'm seeing. But in terms, and then as you mentioned the 385 and 405, yeah. So with the A2D HD, you have the options for both of those with the DLP printing.
And within the same printer, or you choose when you buy it?
No, it's in the same printer.
Okay, so you have multiple light sources hitting that DMD.
Yeah, it's actually, I believe the first one, the recent new projector that we've developed. And yeah, so it's not saying that the user has flexibility of just like picking and choosing, but within a process package based on the application, what like the intensity. And that printer also has the option of the standard version, which is not 4K, and having a 4K upgrade, so that the resolution of the projector also can change based on the needs.
Yeah. But so in general, like, does DLP tend to create like better material properties? Is that why dental has moved in that direction, or?
Yeah. In terms of like the resins themselves, from what we've seen, again, I'm not on the process application side of it, but from what we've seen, yeah, it's been much more like performing better. Yeah.
And then on the curing side, you know, especially when you talk about like nanoceramic resins, and when you're talking about trying to get the best possible mechanical properties, we've seen, you know, a lot of different curing units over the years. And light intensity clearly matters a lot. There's some questions around if LED can ever, you know, provide the same light intensity and wavelengths that, let's say, xenon or some of these other flashing cures can do. What's HeyGears' position on that, and where do you see that going in the near future?
So we've tried, again, to keep everything super simple, and then on the lab side, we try and make one curing unit work with all of our resins. Now, with the third-party resins, we don't sometimes get a choice of like the curing unit that can work. But with our PCU 3.0, it's very compatible with all of our resins, and we now have a new PCU Pro. It's a nitrogen-based curing unit, and that's like next level. As I've seen huge differences, especially on the curing of like of surgical guides, of night guards, achieving the really glossy, strong finish to these products. It's been a game changer. But then on the third party resin side, customers, sometimes have to use a specific curing machine for those applications because there's different light intensities and duration and time, and so it can.
Well, I think that slowly brings us to something that we're super excited to hear about, and I wonder if the 385 and 405 separate light sources play into it, but there's some very, very exciting stuff that's coming out that has already been announced several times at different places in the last year or so. But talk to us about multi-material printing and what kind of a game changer that is, and maybe as much as you can about that process.
Absolutely. No, yeah, absolutely. So we all know, I mean, traditional, printing digital, at least dentures in this application, has been a multiple step process of printing base, printing the teeth, bonding, cleaning, and all of that. And so there are multi-material printing, machines out there, but not with DLP. And so we are here to really change the market in that way. And so, this year on the market will be the first DLP multi-material printer, and allowing you to print a denture with multiple resins all at once in one piece within a few hours. And the way that changes the game, I mean, it changes the game in multiple ways. Firstly, in the design side, it simplifies design. There's no two parts, files here, files there. It's one simple monoblock file. The printing side, there's no putting the teeth with the base. It's all cured, all printed within one piece, super, super strong. Literally, it cannot be ripped apart. It's chemically bonded together. It's cured together. So it saves time. When you visually will see the denture, you can tell that it's all a monoblock. It's just perfect. And it's just, again, one of those products where we want to save time, make it easier, and aesthetically it looks better and it's stronger, and it's going to be a game changer, really.
I've been waiting for this because like I see like Stratasys with the J5 and the polyjetting, and I'm like, that's great and everything, but when I look at the material properties, I'm just like, that's not sustainable. Like there's no way that can take over the market. As much as and the other thing, I mean, obviously they have a huge advantage because they're printing in whatever 256 colors at least. If they claim more, I think 1,000 or something, but either way, so we're not talking about like being able to do a lot of coloring necessarily with this system, right? Like, would you, with the multi-material printer that you have, is it a max of 2?
So currently it's going to be 2, but it will be more.
Okay.
It will be more than 2. So yeah, you can have, we are very popular for like our gingiva soft tissue base. You could have like a soft tissue layer, then the denture base, then the denture teeth, or you could choose to have multiple shades of the denture teeth resin.
That's what I'm thinking, is shades, right? Yeah.
The possibilities are kind of endless, but the main thing is just like that monoblock printed piece, and a huge time saving, and a very, very strong part, and that's the biggest advantage.
Can you give us a hint around like if it has to do with the different light projector wavelength that gives us the ability, or if it has to do with like a centrifugal process between dipping, or?
Right. So there's what I can share is so it's a 2 vat system, so two resin tanks, 1 projector, and some movement within the tank to go to the projector, and then there's a cleaning process in between layers. So not every layer is cleaned. So let's say you're doing some layers of the denture base, and then if you're in one of those layers as a transition, or you're needing to use the other resin, there's a cleaning process of the platform where the platform will come, clean to minimize or completely avoid any cross contamination of the resin. And that's how it works. It's cure, clean, come back. And so the print time is higher than traditional, but you can fit like 5, 6, bases, dentures on there. And yeah, but there's possibility for automation on that maybe in the future as well. So it can be, a denture printing machine.
Yeah. That's super exciting. I think, and like that's what I was saying before, is like viscosity is a big part of what gives us material properties. And so when you have to turn something into like an extremely fine liquid in order to make it do these things, it's great, it's beautiful, but it's not that practical. So I see your guys' solution, or the solution coming up, as like very, very interesting. It makes these like, I see the flexible partial world being like huge, like bigger, almost as big as Crown and Bridge, really, when you think about like the access to care that would provide, because so many more people can afford a Valplast or something like it than go in and do like single implant crowns or whatever, right? So that, I think that's such a cool value proposition that you guys are bringing to the table. So we're super excited to work with you guys.
Very exciting. It's very exciting, and we'll soon know more, and people will be out there, going for it, I think.
Yeah, we're looking forward. So Chicago, you guys are putting on, I don't know if there's something you'd like to share around that event coming out, or, I mean, we'll be publishing this maybe after that event, so maybe that won't make sense. But if there was one takeaway.
Lab Day will be there, and displaying, well, firstly, what we just talked about, our new multi-material printer. And we'll also have our A3D automation system for, automation, and also our A2D HD. So we'll be displaying all the applications printable with HeyGears, most of the printers, and ready to to have another good year and supply products to dental labs and dental clinics. So yeah.
And if would you say that, like, at this point, where would you say we are in terms of the adoption rate, and what trends have you seen just in this last year or so?
I mean, we've grown a lot. The adoption of digital technology and printers and resins and software is really growing. We've seen a consolidation of the market, really, and so a lot of the big labs are growing fast, and also a lot of dental clinics that are now saying, "Hey, I want to produce myself. I want to be able to provide and create something same day delivery." And so it's growing super fast on the clinical side and on the lab side, and we see labs relying on us and dental clinics relying on us a lot more now than ever before, from even just design work to the full scale production. And so I don't see that slowing down. And we see, as most of my customers, there are like 70%, 80% digital cases, and so I think we'll hit 100% within the next couple of years. So it's gonna go fast.
Once we get the resins, man, once we get the next, if we can double our Vickers hardness on the next version of our Crown and Bridge, I think that's it. It's game over. I mean, it's not just about Vickers hardness, obviously, but like, I feel like in order to convince people that this is it, you know what I mean? That's where people are still not sure that it's going to replace Emax or Zirconia. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think we'll get there. I think it's like every technology. There's the initial 1.0 version, and it's pretty good. 2.0 is better. 3.0 is even better. And then before you realize it, you're 5 years down the line, and you're like, how were we doing this before? Like how? Yeah. It's
totally.
Yeah. So, and HeyGears will. I mean, we are pushing the industry forward. That's why I'm really happy to be part of the team, is because we have huge teams working on new resin and new software and new ways of doing things, automation systems, multi-material printers, and so we are the leader in that. And so I'm excited to be sharing that with the market and with everybody, like, over the years to come.
Well, we're excited to help. Albin, thank you so much for your time. We really feel like I feel like we learned a lot more about HeyGears and the mission that you guys have, and why as difficult as it is right now, with like you were kind of saying, there's a consolidation going on in the market, and it just seemed like for a while there's just so many different. I mean, there still is. There's so many companies that are making dental specific printers, dental specific resins, and it's just so difficult to like differentiate what makes a product really unique. And I do think like your guys is focused on basically like your customer's experience, right? Like at the end of the day, it matters if a clinician is going to adopt this, it has to be like clinic friendly. If a lab is going to adopt this, it needs to be like lab proficient, you know, and at least at the very least be like at the level of the technology that they're used to using, right? So I see that focus from you guys for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important for us. Customer service, customer satisfaction is the biggest thing, and reason why we have great, like I said, customer service is big, and customer satisfaction is because we provide systems that work, that are interconnected, a full ecosystem of it from start to finish, and our training is really good. You know, dental products can be complicated. Like, oh, it needs to be cured for 2 minutes, not 1 minute 50 seconds, and those things it can have a big impact on results. So training and good products is what we offer. And so that's why we've been successful, and we'll continue to, you know, hopefully provide really good, you know, production to dental labs and dental clinics.
All right, Albin. Well, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to continuing to work with you, and yeah, to the near future.
Sounds good.
3D printing for everyone.
I know. It's exciting.
All right. Cheers. I'm gonna stop this recording. Or we'll just end the meeting. All right, Albin, we'll talk soon. Aloha.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.